So, Baddies, Zeus Network, why are you like this? What is Baddies? What is a baddie? What do baddies do? For those of you who don't know what Baddies is a reality TV show. It's pretty much a spinoff of the OG TV show Bad Girls Club, in which a bunch of girls got together in a house. They were bad girls, and I guess that meant, you know, partying, fighting, and that's pretty much it. A couple seasons, I think at the beginning, they tried to have a more deeper purpose in the sense of getting a bunch of young girls together who, you know, as a young person, you have your faults, you have things that you need to improve about yourself, about your character. So putting these groups of girls together was supposed to transform them, help them grow and mature. And as the season went along, it became, you know, not that. I mean, they said they were that, but how could you be that when the bulk of your episodes were just a display of women fighting, knocking other girls out? Baddies is a spinoff of that show, and it's actually executively produced by one of the former Bad Girl Club members, Natalie Nunn. She is now 40 years old. I feel like it's important to lead with that, and we'll get into that later. Once Bad Girls Club ended, she produced this new brand, this new concept called Baddies. It's a bunch of girls and a social circle in a group setting with the false narrative of getting that bag, building each other up, all of that stuff, when really you're just hoping that things get heated, they pop off and start fighting. Snatching wigs. Throwing wigs, losing wigs. Using a wig as a weapon. The whole wig tomfoolery on the show. Some of them say that they're musicians. I don't see them producing music on the show very often. Most we'll get is them at some sort of club where they rap one or two lyrics and then somebody gets sneaked and it's a whole brawl for 45 minutes straight once a week for 12 weeks. The reason I want to talk about this is because it's gotten a little bit too far. And listen, this is coming from somebody, I used to watch Bad Girls Club growing up. I haven't seen a full episode of Baddies because I quite frankly can't make it through. I can only handle about 20 minutes of screaming, racial slurs being thrown out.
Tell her, no, I don't even know this bitch. All I'm hearing is it is that and some lame shit.
Fucked up again.
Blind people getting hit in the head.
You blind for real?
Women being encouraged to slap complete strangers. Nudity. 20 minutes is where I max out. That's when I'm just like, okay, I've had my fill. Thank you. It can be entertaining, but there's gotta be a limit to the amount of physical violence, tearing women down. What other purpose does this show have? What is the bag that we are getting after? Even in the trailers, they start listing it as, yeah, we're back. Like, the baddies are back. We're gonna have a good time. We're just gonna party, build our businesses, build our careers, all of this stuff. And then literally 15 seconds later, this like last 2 minutes of the trailer, doing the complete opposite of what they said they were doing. So purposefully getting them together to brawl, attack each other physically, emotionally. It's all for money. It's all for views. It's all for clicks. Specifically after watching the auditions for the show. Yes, believe it or not, you have to audition to be in this space.
Stop it. Move back to her. Back to her.
Is it really that worth it? The clout, the notoriety, whatever you want to call it, the fame. Is it worth your own safety, your own well-being, your health, your sanity? And the gag is behavior that was being displayed, the things that these young women were asked to do.
Look to your neighbor and slap the shit out of that bitch.
And were unfortunately willing to do for the hope of being on Baddies. They had already casted the next season for the show. So this was quite literally just for clicks, just for views. And what's sad is some of the women that were auditioning didn't know that. So they sitting there doing all this and that for fake auditions. You're not really actually gonna be on the show. I'm not sure I'd be willing to go on a show and partake in this behavior for the sake of none of that, because I'm not willing to get into a fight with somebody. Can we just talk about the amount of fighting? I don't know if my culture is desensitized, if my generation is desensitized, and this could possibly be a thing, but the way that people are just fighting, physically hitting each other like it is no issue, is ridiculous. I've never been in a fight. I would like to avoid fights at all costs. I don't know where this thing of just being like, if somebody says something disrespectful to you, you're all of a sudden ready to. I admire your courage, your strength, your bravery. Woohoo, more power to you. But I have no business fighting. None. Maybe I'm a coward, you can call me that, but punches being thrown, the amount of jaws being broken, the black eyes, the missing teeth. Ladies. It's amazing how this is like one of the most popular shows too in America, in the midst of where I thought female empowerment, building women up and taking them out of this negative catty light of being emotional and argumentative. It's amazing watching these two coexist at the same time. Female empowerment being besties, number one shows in America being women brutally beating each other up on purpose for money. Okay. On Bad Girls Club, at least you got like 2 licks in, security came and helped. Security is now organizing the fights with the producers. Bad Girls Club used to get kicked out if you got a fight. Yes, they were instigating the fights. Yes, we knew a fight was gonna happen. That was the point of the show, to get that 2 seconds of entertainment. But after that, it's like, yo, that's not cool. Physical violence. They tried to at least hint that the behavior being displayed was not acceptable. Baddies is encouraging it. You have a producer of a show, a 40-year-old woman. Okay? Keep in mind, she was on the first Bad Girls Club, like season 6, whatever it was, when she was like 20 something, 21. In 20 years, she decided that this is what she wanted to do. Not to help build women up and get them out of the negative spaces that they're in when it comes to their relationships, their character, their home life, their career. Not to build them up and get them out of that. It's to keep them in it and exploit them, make them sort of like your little puppets, your experiment, for the sake of you getting money and you getting your bag. I'm glad you're okay. I'm losing hair. My teeth are on the floor. At least on Bad Girls Club, they're like, yo, y'all know this is just for entertainment, right? Like, this isn't, y'all don't have to. They cut fights off and protected the girls on there and made sure they didn't get teeth knocked out, made sure that blind people weren't hit in the back of the head. You hit a blind girl who just vocalized that she is blind.
I'm blind, you know what I'm saying? But I'm still a bad bitch and I'm still out here, you know what I'm saying, doing my shit.
You sneaked her and ran up on her and hit. She quite literally couldn't see that coming. There's no reason for you to run up on her like that. There's no reason for security to watch a blind girl get sneaked and not even move an inch. They on the side like, I'm sorry? Secure, do your job. There was no reason for the producers to sit there and laugh and joke about it as if it's funny. And then for them to air all of this, no disclaimer, no interview saying this isn't okay, this isn't what we stand for. We don't condone people running up behind blind people and knocking the Mario tokens out of them. Like, we don't condone that. See you next week. Nothing was given. There is no too far on Baddies.
Slacker.
You are gassing women up, encouraging them to fight. That means you're a baddie. That means you're a bad girl. And I'm not solely blaming the producers. These are grown women, a lot of them of able body, mind, and soul. So they could have been like, you know what? I don't feel comfortable slapping this girl next to me. I don't know her. Why would I be comfortable hitting someone? Whatever. The entire thing is them fighting. This might as well be low vibrational Dragon Ball Z, Baddie Ball Z. Like, and then the cast members that's come on the show, these are supposed to be women that you're gonna build up, help them get that bag. How do you start off by insulting them?
You want me to tell you a story? Alright, no, I don't need to hear a story.
It's too small. No, they're not too small, baby. Don't disrespect me, though.
Nobody's gonna respect you in this house.
All things considered, they came out here today under the impression that they would have a spot on this show. Why they would want to be a part of this, I don't know. I would suggest they seek therapy and heal instead. You lie to them knowing that they won't be on the show. You produce this whole facade, and then when they get there, the first thing you do is insult them. You encourage them to hit their neighbor. You encourage them to fight and brawl. You degrade them. This is not how auditions for a TV show are held. Unless the theme is whatever it takes at all costs, we're gonna see what we can do to get these damaged girls to do and see how far we can build this network. And so far it's working, because God knows the world is also crazy and damaged. It's entertaining, like a train wreck. Like, you wanna see what's gonna happen? Would I encourage somebody to get in a train wreck for the sake of me wanting to see it? No. As a black woman myself, I I am very unsettled and disturbed by them exploiting and profiting off of a stereotype that we say we fight so hard against. We fight so hard to not be seen as argumentative, uneducated, loud. But this is what we showcase. We never showcase the positive things, even if it meant less views, even if it meant a little bit less money because people weren't so tuned in to seeing the positives of Black women and what we're building, what we're cultivating. Even if it meant, all right, listen, everybody may not be into this as much this episode, but we're gonna do this just to show that, hey, we do other things outside of twerking with your tampon string out.
No, baby, your tampon is hanging out.
Tampon string out. Are we okay? It's only a matter of time before Zeus Network goes completely south. Before they get some lawsuit, before somebody gets severely injured. Some of these people are in their 30s, some are in their 40s. Some of y'all have children. Age is just a number. Age is a mindset. It doesn't matter. No, it's time to grow up. This is not acceptable behavior for any woman, really, of any age. The only reason we give leniency to the young people because you're like, all right, your prefrontal cortex isn't fully developed. How is a bunch of women getting together, brutally beating each other up, ending up completely stripped of their clothes? The barbaricness. How are we supposed to believe that this is like a form of self-love? Embracing who you naturally are. Y'all need to heal if that's the case. You don't need to be this if this is who you naturally are. It's time to heal. It's time to get in therapy. It's time to get on Lexapro. It's time to get on Cipralex. It is time to get on Wellbutrin. And the last thing that I want to talk about is, again, along with the lines of exploiting people's personal lives, their insecurities, their sexuality, their safety, their health, their well-being for the sake of money. This specific clip that I saw had me floored. And I don't know if I'm even going to fully show like what was said. It's a clip of Krishan and Taseki, and they're having an argument about how I guess they got into a fight on a previous episode. They've been fighting previously. Taseki is trying to reconcile with Krishan. She's trying to apologize and trying to figure out what the issue is. Like, why do you have these issues with me? Why are we fighting? We don't need to do this. And Krishan keeps subtly dropping hints that something traumatic has happened between them, but she doesn't want to bring it up. She keeps mentioning that, well, you know, you don't want to talk about everything that's happened in our lives. Like, we can go back and really pick this apart if you want us to. Taseki keeps asking, like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? And then Krishan drops this bomb and says that Taseki asked her to perform certain acts on her as a child, playing house. You would think that the camera people, the producers, would put the camera down and be like, whoa, out of respect for what was just broadcast, the bomb that was just dropped. You would think that they would assess the situation and be like, this is not fit for TV. At least be like, whoa, 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 ask how the women are doing. But no, cameras kept rolling and rolling and rolling. The footage was produced. The footage was aired, unedited. There was no disclaimer given. There was no warning. That was it. And they posted it again in the trailer for the season. That bombshell about what Krishan said Taseki asked her to do. They put that in the trailer. The trailer. Ooh, look at the TV season. Look at the drama. Look at all the fights we got coming up. Oh, also, a little cute little thing about incest. What? Even if Krishan and Taseki were okay and consented to that being aired, I still, as a human being, would be like, I do not want this on my TV show. I do not want this personal, traumatic information shared out of respect for your privacy, because you may be okay with it, but it would hurt my heart to see how people would react to this, comment about this information, and me as a human being, I have a certain level of compassion and decency to where I would never air this, exploit this for the sake of money. Baddies, can we humanize the show just a little bit and remember that these are human beings? I understand that you got to get your clicks and your views and you need the attention to Baddies, to the network, for Zeus. There's just got to be a way we can tone it down. That being said, you can let me know your thoughts below. Let me know what topic you want me to talk about next, what you want me to tackle, if there's another show you want me to tackle, if there's another idea you like me to react to. A lot of y'all commented that my Twitch was wrong on the last one. I don't know how that's the case because that is my Twitch. Why it's not popping up, I'm not sure yet. So I'm gonna try to link it again, actual link this time. Let me know if it works. If it doesn't,